It's a craze that's sweeping kitchens across the nation, taking ordinary homemade cakes and making them extraordinary with details you normally see only from professionals. And this morning we have nationally recognized cake designer Cynthia Ebram here to give you some tips. Thanks so much for being here, Cynthia.
Thank you so much, Victoria. I am so happy to be here.
Well, we're happy to have you, and your cakes are absolutely delicious. So many women out there want to bake for their children. We have back to school coming up. Can you give them some tips to do that? Let's go ahead and get to the decorating.
I sure can. One of the things I want to remind everybody, when you're baking your cake, fill your pans about 3/4 of the way up, and when it comes out of the oven and you might have a little top on it, take a serrated knife and just trim that off.
And you want to let your cakes cool completely before you try to do that.
Yes, if you want to do it real quick, never ice a cake hot. Always, you can put it in the refrigerator.
It'll melt, right?
Yes, it'll melt the buttercream for sure. When you're icing the cake, always kind of stir your buttercream or whatever it is you're using. If it's out of a can, you can just do it straight. And I want to show you a little trick here. This is going to be a layered cake, what we call a double layer. Just spread your icing like this. Don't put too much because you don't want it oozing out the sides when you layer it.
So you want to make sure that you put just enough to put a thin coating on the cake.
Yes. Now, if you're doing filling, then you'll put a little well and put the filling inside. Then you put your cake on top. And right now, the biggest trend out there is back in the 60s, what they called textured cakes, and
which looks a lot like this one over here.
Like this.
So this is the textured cake. You're using
and
buttercream.
all you do is just glob it on there. You don't need any kind of real heavy-duty skill to do that. You just glob it on there and just go up and down.
Kind of make some waves with it.
Make waves.
I remember back in the 80s, even when my aunt would make cakes when I was a little girl, she used to love to make the little waves in her frosting.
Well, that's the big thing right now. Of course, you can also do it completely smooth, which is this one here. It's real iced, real smooth.
It looks beautiful, and it almost looks like fondant, which is that sugar paste that you put on top of the cake normally for wedding cakes. Now let's move on to the cupcakes. You brought a lot of ingredients. You said that you could just go to H-E-B or maybe even get stuff out of your pantry, different candies, flowers, even some fruit.
Fruit, yes. And I brought some cupcakes here just to kind of show you how simple this is. You can get the tips. The bigger the tip, the bigger the design will be. This is I forget the number of it, but it's the biggest tip you can find out there.
And you can get those at Michael's or at H-E-B,
Michael's,
right?
yes. And you just do little swirls like this.
And nothing is wrong because it's all artistic, and when you get the kids involved,
whatever your inspiration will come up with when you go down the aisles, you can sprinkle some little things on there. There's some sweet tarts.
I love sweet tarts. And then you just go ahead and put your candies on there and just do all these cute little things with it. Cynthia, thank you so much for being here. Can you tell everybody where they can find you?
4112 North Doolittle in Edinburgh. Our phone number is 956-381-0008.
All right. Thank you so much, Cynthia, for being here. These were great tips for our viewers. Mary, back to you.